The Grand Galactic Assembly was held in the Celestial Hall, a construct so ancient even the stone it was carved from had no name in any living language. Representatives from over 1,000 star-faring species filled the floating amphitheater, their voices buzzing in countless tones, frequencies, and pheromonal exchanges. But today, a heavy, unnatural silence blanketed the chamber. Humanity had arrived. Ambassador Lysander Kale stood tall in his obsidian-lined uniform, a relic of Earth's once fractured nations. Behind him marched the delegation, diplomats, scholars, and ominously one silent figure clad in matte black armor, a Terran marshal. The mere presence of one on assembly grounds made most species uncomfortable. To them, it was like someone bringing a weapon into a temple. They were right to be afraid. The Galactic Assembly had long relied on consensus, trade pacts, and bureaucratic webs to maintain peace. But peace, as defined by the older species, often meant stagnation and quiet suppression. Humanity had been the wild variable. Their arrival had shocked the Assembly a century ago, a death world species that had survived self-extinction unified under a single banner and crossed the stars not for conquest, but because Earth had become too small at first. The Assembly had tried to absorb them. Committees were formed. Sanctions were proposed. Threats were made diplomatically, of course, but the humans didn't flinch. And now, after decades of tension, today's meeting was the culmination of it all. A vote to override Earth's sovereignty on the Sargon Accords, forcing humanity to submit its AI development programs for monitoring and restriction. The Assembly claimed it was to ensure safety. Humanity saw it as a leash. Kale stepped forward. His voice, amplified for the entire chamber, was calm but cold. Esteemed members of the Assembly, Earth rejects the proposal. A ripple of sound coursed through the gathered species, some shocked, some outraged, others quietly relieved. Elder Zenith of the Shilari, a crystalline entity with a voice like chiming glass, floated forward. Ambassador Kale, Earth is but one world. The Assembly is the collective wisdom of the galaxy. You cannot. We can, Kale interrupted, and we will. Behind him, the armored figure finally moved. With one gloved hand, the marshal placed a dark obsidian tablet on the central pedestal. It pulsed once. Kale continued. This is our final transmission to the Assembly. We are invoking Clause 0. Gasps echoed. Clause 0 was theoretical and ancient failsafe buried in the Assembly's founding documents. If enacted by a member species, it granted them full secession. No trade, no communication, no protection, no oversight, total withdrawal. No species has ever invoked Clause 0, hissed a Reptar diplomat. Do you understand what this means? Kale's eyes were steely. It means we're done pretending your fear of us is our problem. Another voice, soft but unmistakably nervous, spoke. If you leave, if you walk away, the balance will collapse. Your technology, your fleets, were never yours to control, Kale snapped. We offer friendship, collaboration, a place in the stars, but you never saw us as equals, only as threats. The ambassador turned and began walking away. The rest of the human delegation followed, silent and purposeful. The marshal was last. As he turned, his visor flickered, scanning the crowd. Many delegates flinched. Consider this, Kale said one last time, his voice echoing from the chamber. Entrance. For a century, we tempered ourselves, held back, tried to fit in. You fear what we might become if left unchecked. He paused. Now you'll find out. And with that, the humans vanished through the Stargate portal, which went shut behind them, across the galaxy. The consequences were immediate. Within hours, all Terran diplomatic outposts went dark. Earth's hyperlane gates, once open to allied vessels, sealed. Even the Terran extranet, a network of knowledge humanity had gifted to uplift younger species, was wiped clean. Then came the defense fleets. Silent. Human dreadnoughts repositioned around border systems. Orbital megastructures powered up. Autonomous. Eyes, once dormant under assembly regulation, activated across the void front, and the assembly panicked. Without human engineers, failing infrastructure began to collapse. Pirate incursions increased. Interstellar logistics slowed to a crawl. Planets relying on Terran terraforming began to falter. But worse than the material losses was the fear palpable and spreading. What would the humans do next? Would they attack? Conquer? But Earth did neither. Instead, the humans built, independently, quietly, massive generation ships launched toward uncharted sectors. New alliances formed among young, often ignored species, the ones the assembly had long marginalized. Humanity welcomed them, taught them, protected them. Soon, whispers filled the stars. The Terran Accord was being born. Not an empire, not a federation, something new. A network based on shared struggle, not old power. And at its center, humanity no longer asked permission to exist. Decades passed. The Galactic Assembly limped on, weaker, fractured. Some species begged for re-entry into Earth's fold. Others plotted war but dared not act out and high above the galaxy's rim. A Terran marshal stood aboard the TSV Resolute, watching a nebula bloom. He smiled under his helmet. The galaxy had watched. Humanity walk away in dread dot. And now, they watched in awe.